Finishing out this week's show, Brandon, though, you wanted to chit-chat about Karrion Kross, one of the hottest properties right now in the WWE. His T-shirts are selling. What was it that you wanted to, because he's just, obviously, we're wondering what the future holds. A lot of people, he's like what LA Knight was a few years ago, where people are like, we're pushing him. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And that's where Karrion Kross sits right now. He's kind of like that hot property, and you're wondering, is WWE going to pull the trigger on this, or...
Here's my take on Karrion Kross. They're, obviously you just alluded to the T-shirts, like they're flying off the shelves, and because of the fans, his T-shirts are available in the arenas now. Which he did post I think he posted a video, or at least a post, on social media, in regards to that. So like I would say he's going into business for himself per se, in a way that makes him look good. Because he's also promoting a book that he's got coming out, I believe, this summer. I think it's called Life is Fighting. I might have that wrong, so I apologize to Karrion Kross there, but I believe that's what it is. It's going to be coming out, I think, in August. So, like, he was making the point. I think the video came out either today or yesterday, so it was recent, where he's talking about like how certain superstars, if you're not getting the push you need on with WWE, still use your WWE moniker per se. Go on social media and, maybe create maybe not only do cool stuff on social media, but do other things that make your brand look better. Because if you can build your brand, WWE sees that, oh, wow, there's something behind this, this guy or gal. We need to start pushing them. And I think Karrion Kross, I think he's pushing the right buttons, though, because I have this feeling, and I haven't heard anything. I don't have any insight, but I don't know if you caught it this week on Raw, where him and Sami Zayn had an interaction. I think there might be something there with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross very soon, and I think that would be very good for both parties involved. I think Karrion Kross deserves a push. There's been a push, Karrion Kross thing on social media. He's pushing all the right buttons right now, and I think it's a matter of time that WWE does do it. It's not a matter of if, it's more when at this point.
Yeah, and I wonder, too, if obviously, so we've seen this happen before in the past. We've seen people wanting people to get pushed, whether it was Rusev in the past, whether it was Aleister Black, whether it was Karrion Kross last time around, where these people are essentially getting a groundswell of fans underneath them to give them more than WWE wants to give them. Obviously, we saw it with the entire Divas Revolution. So you wonder, though, because obviously back in the day, Vince McMahon was in charge and he kind of would hear things, but then would still be like, no, we're still going this direction, right? Clearly, he must be doing that, because why else would he have done what he did with Karrion Kross all of those times, right? The fans never asked for that. And when the fans booted, he just then fired Karrion Kross instead of changing it up the way the fans want it. But now things are under TKO and there's a little bit different people in charge. So I wonder if that will have an effect in this time, because they always say we listen to the fans, but when Vince McMahon was in charge, they did listen to the fans to an extent, but still, if Vince McMahon was dead set on something, he was going that way, right? Yeah. That's how it was going. So we will see if this time around, maybe they're saying, no, we can make that pivot.
Have you seen the main event, like clips where like his music hits and he gets a pop? Like, he's getting big pops on main events, that obviously, as they're dark matches, so to speak, where you don't see him on Raw, but he's getting good pops at main events. And it's like people are putting those out. I will say, I don't know if it's going to get to the extent of what Becky Lynch did, a handful of years ago, where social media kind of helped her push herself up the rung a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's, I like what Karrion's doing. And I feel like I want to see more of those type of superstars, like a Karrion Kross or some other superstars that are not getting the TV time that I feel like they should get because they're super talented. Maybe go into business and do some things. I don't like to say business for yourself because it means you're selfish, but I guess you're expanding your portfolio to make yourself even better. And WWE looks at you and be like, wow, yeah, we haven't really used you, but you're also still doing other things. And people are really starting to catch on. We're going to start using you like better. So I think that's going to happen to Karrion Kross. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a Money in the Bank match coming up.
And WWE is different landscape now because you don't necessarily have to leave WWE to try doing those things. We just talked Karrion Kross, right? He was a part of Bloodsport over WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. He can show up at GCW or these other kind of things. Natalia, she's like a co-host right now weekly on SiriusXM Busted Open Radio while still obviously being a WWE employee. She was just at the Crockett Cup as a part of NWA. So there is still ways for you to, if you're not being fully utilized in WWE TV, to do the Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes route by going other places and kind of getting that build. And I think that's part of why Karrion Kross is getting that build, because he did do those things. He is branching out, and people did see him at Bloodsport and were like, oh, okay, this guy isn't just main event. And I don't think they ever really thought that necessarily about him because he's always had this, support. But it is strange that WWE essentially books and portrays a character one way in NXT, or at least did, and then brings him to WWE and then changes what made them so great. I never really understood that, right? They kind of did that with Aleister Black, and they did that with Karrion Kross originally.
I mean, Karrion Kross's gimmick in NXT was awesome. So, like, when he got the call up, there was a lot of excitement and there was some buzz, and then it fell flat. So I'm like,
and they put him in they make him shave his head bald and put him in a bondage mask.
It was it did exactly. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, if it's working in NXT and like people are liking it, don't you think that the Raw or SmackDown audience is going to like it? So that's why I wanted to talk. We were talking pre-show. Like, I'm hoping Karrion Kross gets something big soon. But I do think, because Sami Zayn said on Raw this week, well, I'm going to deal with you later. So don't be surprised if we get a future match with him and Karrion Kross. And I think it'll be a good match because Sami Zayn's good in the ring. I think Kross is good in the ring as well. And I think that could be a way to maybe show the brass at WWE, TKO, that whole thing. Like, oh, this guy, I forgot. This guy's really good. We need to start pushing this guy.
Yeah, and SummerSlam being 2 nights, there's definitely a lot of room on the cards in the future coming up to see. And I think obviously the summer could really show whether he's going to go one way or the other.